Hey guys, welcome back to another Duviri max out episode. Today we are going to be focusing on Nova, as per the request of someone in the comments. Apologies if my voice sounds a bit lower or gravelly, I have just woken up. And I also got back from holiday quite late yesterday, and I haven't really managed to do anything. Hence you can see we have a woefully low amount of platinum, and yeah, we're really going to have to work for this one. So yeah, I went with Nova because I've actually already put quite a few former on her, and you can see I've put some basic fashion frame on her, I guess. But we're going to do this slightly differently, or I'm going to do it slightly differently. It'll probably appear exactly the same for you guys, but Nova is actually currently up on circuit right now, so I am going to kind of just speed through getting Nova done, and I'll show you the Nova build, and then yeah, I'll go back to do the weapons, but you guys probably won't notice a difference because I'm just going to record the Steel Path circuit bit with Nova first, and then I'll come back to do the weapons, and we'll go through the builds after I've done that, just so that I can get it done and out of the way and I don't have to waste any time on it. So yeah, I'm going to get this done pretty quickly, hopefully. But yeah, the kind of goal, I'm thinking again of going for a smite build on this. Should be interesting, I think. Joint with maybe the other augment mod that Nova uses, which I can't remember the name of, that allows you to kind of keep up your first ability and just maintain tankiness. That's kind of the plan. We'll see how it pans out in the end. But yeah, I'm going to get on, guys. I'm going to get this maxed out. Go ahead and do the Nova Steel Path circuit bit, and then we'll drop back in, and yeah, I'll run through the builds for you guys. So I'll catch you in a second. Alright guys, so we've got all of our builds ready to go, and this feels kind of weird because I've actually already recorded the Steel Path circuit bit with Nova. So yeah, as I go through, I can actually kind of give some tips on maybe how to improve the Nova build from what you'll see in the video, but yeah, we'll just run through it for now, and then we'll do the weapons testing, which I haven't done yet. I didn't manage to get any of the weapons in the run itself. But yeah, let's have a look. So for Nova, I've gone with a slow build. It seemed kind of like the logical choice since, you know, there's decrees that are going to increase our ability strength, and will end up being a slow Nova anyway at some point. But then I figured, kind of as I was going through, well, if I upped the range, I could increase the explosion radius from Molecular Prime and still keep slow on the strength here. And I could up my armor value as well by putting on, you know, not Intensify, but Umbral Fiber, for example. And yeah, that was kind of my thinking behind it. I've gone with a Smite build. It actually worked pretty well. Again, I just find Smite so useful for frames that don't really have clear potential. It just allows you, you know, in defense missions to basically wipe maps if you get high enough strength from the armor decree that you can pick up. Hence we're running Guardian as well here. I've got Energize on, Preparation, we've got loads of energy on the build. Corrosive Projection for the reduced armor. And then, yeah, basically everything else geared towards duration and enough strength to get the slow. But again, I think if I was doing this over, I would probably not do the strength. I would probably go into armor and swap that for fiber. If I was building this solely for Steel Path circuit, I probably won't use this build again for Steel Path circuit, so I'll just make it as a normal Nova slow build. But just so you guys are aware, if you did want to do this for circuit, then you could probably swap this out for Umbral Fiber and go ahead and start picking up the what am I trying to say? The decrees for additional strength from armor value. I think it would be better, and you'd have a lot more sustain. So yeah, something to note. You could also maybe put on Overextended somewhere here, perhaps swap out Vigorous Swap if you didn't want to go Smite. That might also work, just to increase the range, like I said, of your Molecular Prime explosions. And then, yeah, we've got the two infusion mods here. Extra radiation damage, always good, and then the Molecular Fusion, which is just going to make us insanely tanky at all times from our Null Star. So yeah, that's always beneficial. In terms of our Burst on Prime, I haven't actually yet done this last evolution, but I wanted to get this video recorded. Either way, we are going to be adding on the increased critical chance, I'd imagine. I don't think the first one is gonna help too much. It might do. I haven't really tested it. I'll probably test that out before I decide on it, and I'll do that before we do the weapons testing bit. But the build is basically joint crit, joint stat, so we've got two 60/60s, crit delay, and Vital Sense on here, along with Galvanized Aptitude and Galvanized Chamber. Spectra Vandal, again, a similar theme here. So joint, stat, and crit, up to 84% status here, with a reasonable crit chance and crit multiplier still. I've got Viral on, but I'll probably change that depending on the faction. I put Lethal Momentum on here for now because the polarity slot was already geared for a Y polarity, but yeah, I don't know whether or not I'll put another former on just so I can fit on Ruinous Extension. The range of this gun is actually not bad already, so we'll see. I might do that at some point, but for now, I'll just leave it as is. There's not really much else that would work there. And then the Prisma Ohma, mainly a crit build here with Blood Rush, Berserker Fury, Organ Shatter, all that good stuff. Primed Reach as well, and Prime Smite Corrupted, since we're going to be in Steel Path Circuit. And yeah, that's pretty much the build, guys. You'll notice I've already done the fashion frame as well. I've gone for like the space or Star Trooper vibe. Again, similar to what we did with Mag. I think it works kind of well here as well with the, what is it, the Scapular Syandana. Scapulus Syandana looks quite good. And then I've gone with my favourite Asakage shoulder armour. And we've gone with Porter leg plates and Porter chest plate, because obviously Nova is a portal frame. It kind of makes sense. And yeah, that's pretty much the sum total of it, guys. So let's go ahead. I'll finish doing this this last evolution here, get the crit chance on, and maybe we'll try out both, actually. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we'll go ahead and test the weapons and then jump into the Steel Path Circuit footage. All right, guys. So I did a bit of testing here with the two different things for the burst on, the crit chance and then the added damage on full burst. And I think I'm going to settle on the crit chance, to be honest. The amount of red crits that you get is just, well, not red crits, sorry, orange crits is pretty decent, especially on the Incarnon form, which is really what I'm going for. So yeah, if we take a look here, you'll notice the normal damage just to begin with isn't very big. It will ramp up with, you know, arcanes, but yeah, let's see about the Incarnon form. Very nice indeed. Yeah, pretty happy with how that one turned out. Should be good. The Spectra Vandal is really not going to do much, although I have it on viral damage instead. I'm not sure why. The slash damage on it is actually pretty decent. You can see it does ramp up quite a bit over time. So maybe with something like Close Contagion, the Decree, this might actually be pretty damn good. Yeah, so you can, you know, you can kill enemies with it for sure. And the Ohma, again, we're going to have the same issue, I think, as we do with most melee weapons. The armor value is just going to be ridiculously high. Although what you will notice is that this thing is pretty good at CCing enemies. The amount of electricity that is, like, arcing around is stunning them for a very decent duration. So might be actually a very useful tool for that. But yeah, for the most part, Burst on Prime, very good. Spectra Vandal, actually surprisingly good, considering how much slash damage it provides. And then the Ohma, I think, will actually be pretty useful in the circuit itself, but perhaps not so much just facing straight-up Steel Path enemies normally. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get into some gameplay. Alright, guys, so here we have our Nova, looking mighty fancy and shocky. We have also been able to get ourselves a weapon, at least. Actually two, technically, although the Kuva Twin Stubbers have proven to be not so useful in the past. But we do have our Bratton Prime right here, if you remember, from a while back now. With our crit chance and punch through Riven mod, which needs to be re-rolled really, because the negative ammo maximum is kind of a bummer, to be honest. But hey, there we go. We'll make it work, I'm sure. Let's go ahead. We'll take the Stubbers because they're definitely better than anything else there. And then in terms of the melee, I mean, there's really not a lot going on. I kind of wish I had a Riven for the Jaw Sword. It's generally just a terrible, terrible weapon, but I don't think I'm going to be using melee in this at all. So we'll go with it because it's kind of discreet. It doesn't like poke out a lot. Let's go ahead and see what we can get in the way of decrees to begin with. Now, someone did ask if I could do kind of the first few. Ooh. Maybe we should start with that. What else we got here? We got the casting and ability grants a 30% chance to next ability casting. Don't know. Actually, let me just check that I have the right config on here. It's my infusion. Yeah, good. So yeah, we already have enough strength to give us the maximum slow. It's just whether or not we want more strength for like our smite. Not that we're really going to get it, to be honest, in this. Let's just focus on something else for now, I think. So we could do critical hits, deal extra cold damage. We could do envious economy. I think we re-roll. Let's see if we can get anything better. Each shot. No, I don't think we could have got anything better than that. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to reset quickly so that I can re-pick that first one, because, yeah. Probably got a bit greedy there. And then I'll catch you guys, obviously, once we're into that first kind of round and rotation. Alright, guys, so I've ended up going with critical hits deal cold damage. I think with our Bratton, that's probably going to be the best option. Oh, we've got a defense mission. How wonderful. Alright, so when you get a defense mission first, you do have to take it very slowly. Obviously, depending on what frame you've got. If you've got a Mesa, then it's not really going to make a whole load of difference to you. But since we have a slow Nova build on here, it's not going to be ideal, to say the least. The reason that I didn't want to go a speed Nova build on this, although it would have helped out for defense missions and the like, is because it's just going to get too chaotic, and eventually I'll have to get the decree for increased strength for armor, and then it won't be a slow Nova anymore. So there really is, sorry, a speed Nova anymore. So there's no point in building a speed Nova for this. Let's go with... I don't like any of those. I don't... that was alright. Rolling... oh, let's do the ammo efficiency, because my Bratton isn't exactly that ammo efficient. So we'll go ahead and cast an All-Star. And I am actually going to use my slow on this, even though I probably don't need to begin with, but I'm going to. So as you can see, you know, it's feeling fairly safe. It's not going to be quick by any means, which is usually why I don't show the first few rounds, just an FYI. But you guys get the idea. Like, I'm not going to lose this round. So we'll just skip to the second round, I guess. And then I'll consider that kind of the first 2 rounds done. Alright guys, so we just finished the defense mission there. Now we're on to Void Flood. Void Flood, you do not need to worry about kind of killing enemies at all. You can just run around, collect all your decrees, and then move on to collecting the Void Gel stuff. I guess we'll go with this now, yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead, get our decrees. I can see one. Second one over here. And let's see. Whoops. There he is. Good. So now I can carry on and just kind of collect everything and get this one done and out of the way. You can see we've been going 8 minutes now already. That defense mission took about 6 or 7, so like I said, not the fastest to begin with by any means. But we'll go ahead... oh, what am I doing? We'll go ahead and finish this one off, and then I'm now going to show you kind of one of the later rounds I get to, so yeah. I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, so I just finished up stage 6, which was the assassination mission. We're back to our defense mission now, and I'll probably leave this kind of gameplay clip after we've done this. But yeah, overall, it's pretty good, not going to lie. I'm actually going to take this. My Bratton is starting to run a bit low on ammo, and I haven't had any more ammo efficiency decrees, although I didn't actually just check that last one to see if there was any there. So yeah, I am moving on to kind of using my twin stubbers a bit more, and they are doing all right with the buffs that we have, so that's quite nice. No. After taking damage, immediately roll. We'll take this. I think that's probably wise. But yeah, once again, kind of these defense missions, it's just going to be a case of living through them. But we can use our smite to our advantage now, which is quite nice. I do have the maxed out strength for armor decree, which I can never remember the name of. So yeah, we are sort of getting a decent amount of damage now from smite, as you can hear and see. Having the limited range does mean that the orbs don't really home in properly. But it's still good, you know. I don't need a weapon Let's put it that way. Like, if I happen to run out of ammo, I'm not completely stuffed. Which is nice. And yeah, it's kind of just very relaxed actually, Nova. I mean, the slow from her 4th, the tankiness from her 1st, it's like, I'm not worrying at all. This is similar to playing Necros, to be honest. Like, obviously I haven't got as far yet as I did with Necros, but in terms of like not worrying about dying and just kind of running around with Smite annihilating everything, it's similar vibes for sure. My armor value obviously isn't going to be as high either until I maybe get some stacks for corrosive. Armor stacks, that is, for corrosive. Maybe I can change that actually. I was debating whether or not to go with an armor build on this and a range build, like an armor range, but then obviously to begin with it would be a speed Nova, and considering we started with a defense mission here, I'm not sure that would have been the right choice, so I'm kind of happy that I went with a slow Nova. Obviously stuff's taking a bit longer, but it's safe. We're still doing a decent amount of damage. Excavation missions much easier. But yeah, maybe I will try a ranged build at some point, but this is fine for right now, I think. But, you know, we're on 33 minutes. This is stage 7, so we've averaged kind of just over 5 minutes per stage, which isn't too shabby at all. I don't feel in any danger of dying. When you get like an Eximus unit as well that you can feed your Smite off of, it's pretty destructive. Weirdly, I haven't really been running out of energy. I haven't picked up really any efficiency decrees. I think I've done one, which is like refund 25% on ability cast, which is obviously quite nice, but it's only kind of, you know, an additional 25% efficiency in that sense. Oh, that's not good. Now we might run out of energy. But yeah, oh, getting a bit low, that's fine. I'll keep this going, guys. And we'll regroup in the orbiter once, obviously, I've completed this. Running out of time today. I do not have a lot of time this week at all. So much to catch up on. Oh, we did actually take lethal damage there, but it's fine. So yeah, I'll catch you guys back in the orbiter. Alright guys, so hopefully that was fun to watch and you enjoyed the build. Obviously, like I said before, because of this video's just been an absolute muddle for me trying to figure out what's going on, you could up the range potentially on the Nova and let the explosions from your molecular prime get a bit further out, maybe do some more damage. But again, I think this build works pretty damn well, and you could sub Smite out for something else, but I find Smite to be, like I said, very good at clearing out enemies if you don't have a weapon to hand. I think that's what's important to know. A lot of people like ask me, you know, why am I running Smite? There's better things you could run. You could run Wisp's ability, which I forget the name of now, Breach Surge, but you're banking on getting some good weapons for these things, right? That's the issue. So when you're running something like Smite in Steel Path Circuit, you do not need to get a good weapon for it. It just is going to be able to wipe out lots of enemies at a very high level, which is useful. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind, and obviously I want to make sure you guys know why I'm running Smite moving forward for quite a few of my builds. I used to run Nourish quite a lot because it did provide so many benefits, but yeah, Smite actually I have been finding really useful for when I don't have any weapons to hand. It just provides you with that extra bit of damage and clearance that you need. But yeah, otherwise guys, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future frames, again, bear in mind I'm only doing primed frames at the moment, or any weapons you want to see, then do let me know down in the comments below and I will be happy to go ahead and make those up for you. But yeah, otherwise guys, I will catch you in the next one.